with only 3 weeks before baby comes.
We're sort of down to the wire.
Yeah.
An expecting couple puts a bid on a family home.
This is lower than what we wanted.
And an act of God leaves an agent with one hot property.
I'm trying to figure out how do I market. This house has been on fire.
Guys.
Hi.
Hey, Jodi. How are you?
Allison and Steven are about to have a baby. They're sort of on the fence between finding a house that they can fix up and a house that's completely done so they can just move in and get ready to have the baby.
3 weeks until baby comes. Well,
Yes, we've been waiting for a while to do it.
we're really anxious to move on with our,
To the next phase.
move on with our adult life.
Right.
Yeah, won't be nice. We like this area because it's close to Allison's work, and that's certainly important. Somewhere
schools.
that's, good school system. We want to be somewhere where there's a town.
They're currently living in Jersey City. They're living in an apartment, and from what I gather, Allison's never lived in a house before. She's only ever lived in apartments.
This room's nice.
It is nice. I have a great kitchen designer who is so not expensive, and she's awesome.
Good, because we're gonna need her.
So this will be her first venture to true suburbia. And their price range, they'd really like to stay under $1 million because, you know, having a new baby, it's a concern to go far over their mark.
It's a nice nanny room.
Allison is very, very, very pregnant and very, very excited to just get this process done.
We've been looking for a while, and what we've looked for has sort of changed a little bit. This is the discovery.
The discovery, exactly. You need a bowl.
It's going well. It's interesting. I mean, you never know what it's gonna be like until you start doing it.
Oh, a big bug?
It's
It's like a centipede kind of guy.
There might be extra.
This is the media room.
Right.
Well, that's a good place for a TV.
I think it's been a journey. We've come a long way to figure out exactly what we wanted. It's nice. I still like it.
Yeah, we like it.
It just,
Let's look at some other houses.
yeah.
I'm warning you now, you're gonna like this house.
This is big.
Big living room.
We started out thinking we wanted like a really old, charming, and interesting house, and that's still something that interests us. We don't want something that looks totally generic.
2 front-hall closets, which is kind of a cool thing.
I think as we've looked more, we realize that we just want something that has good space and something where just where we can feel comfortable, and we don't want to have to put a ton of work into it.
Cool. They're big. They're not walking, but they're good. Yeah, it's like your sister's bathroom.
This is much smaller than my sister's bathroom.
It's not much smaller.
You know what I want. I want a
know
big,
what you want.
huge
You want
mansion.
this house
I know. I
times
want
2
this house.
for this price. Yeah.
Huge, like
No,
big,
for less than
open, spacious.
Right.
For less than this, yeah.
Right.
Right.
I know what you want.
That's what I
It
want.
doesn't exist.
I
here.
understand.
Well, now that you know, find it.
No, I know from the beginning, but I'm doing the best I can.
She's
So these
found
are our
it.
options.
It's in,
They saw 2 very, very different houses today, both that they kind of like. And neither one might be the right one, but we'll get there.
I think we both realize that there's no perfect house, and each house we see is missing something that the other house had, and
Right, exactly. There's
both houses were great. It just, we would love to combine the good parts of both houses and make it perfect, but that's not gonna happen.
I think that's really well said.
Across town, an agent meets with a new client who is contemplating if it's time to sell.
My name is Roberta Baldwin. I've been in real estate for 11 years. Before real estate, I was a journalist and editor. For every fireplace, your taxes go up. No, I'm just joking.
Don't scare me.
To be a top producing agent, you have to be working at this full-time and more. You can't be blasé about real estate and do well in this profession. I'll talk to you later, okay? We're going to a house in Upper Montclair where the gentleman is thinking of selling his parents' house. And he's been fixing it up. Hi.
Yeah.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you
again.
Well, my family came here after living 10 years in Europe and leaving our home country, Cuba.
A house has been in a family for decades, and there are memories there, and the people are gone who owned it, but there's family carrying on. It's very hard to part with the house.
Because I was 18 when I moved in here, but I commuted to college from home. And I lived in Manhattan for 20 years. Here's where we got together on holidays with our parents.
I know you did some upgrades to the house. I know you did the kitchen.
I have been renovating and going through our family stuff, and in time, you know, I will make a decision.
You chose some very pretty cabinets.
Now I have the house, I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
So far, obviously, the kitchen is a huge plus, and you have new windows. The built-ins in the living room has a lot of inherent charm. So there are 3 bedrooms on this floor.
Yes.
Right. And a bathroom.
As I said, I haven't decided exactly when and how I'm going to move from here.
Okay, and then this is the master. And, okay, so we'll work on this a little bit. If you just kept your desk and we got rid of a few things, we could make it really appealing. Certain things can stay and a few things can maybe be packed away. I want to be as understanding and patient as can be. We don't want to miss the sunroom because it's so bright, and the fact that you don't have another house on this side makes it even brighter. So is this where you do your little playing, perhaps?
House of pianos.
Yeah, a house of pianos. Maybe that's what we'll call it in our feature sheet. I want him to make his decision based on all of the facts, how much he's going to get for the house, in the marketplace that exists when he wants to sell it, and where he's going to go.
Coming up, with only 3 weeks until the due date, will Allison and Stephen find their new family home?
This is the same oven that was on Bewitched.
And an agent tries to help a buyer see through the smoke.
I think actually the water caused more damage than the fire did. I wish I could turn on lights for you, but they don't work.
With time ticking, Jodi and Joanna find another potential home for Allison and Stephen.
We've known Richard and Enid for quite some time. Richard is actually our personal attorney.
They are planning to downsize. I kind of think that their house might work perfectly for Allison and Stephen.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, my dear.
Richard, this is Allison and Stephen.
Hi.
Hi, pleasure to meet you.
Richard and Enid's house was built probably in the late 50s, early 60s.
It's hardwood floors.
These are all the
Same as
same.
that.
The only floor that's not hardwood is the
This.
den,
Okay.
Come in the den.
which is basically parquet.
Probably nothing has been done to the house since the early 80s.
With the seller present, Jodi uses caution when suggesting much-needed renovations.
This is a little den. Keep it in mind, because I think there's other ways we can make the
Okay.
kitchen bigger using this.
Okay.
Their kitchen dates back to probably the original construction date. So it's at least 30, 40 years old and hasn't been updated.
This is the same oven that was on Bewitched.
Interesting.
This is what we use for the fur coat storage.
Well, I don't have a fur, but I have a winter coat. That works.
Okay.
I have a fur.
3 bedrooms, share a bath, and then the master.
Okay.
So 1, big.
All the door handles in here. You cannot get these anymore. I got the last ones. I found a lady in Fairfield who had 2 left. And she told me that the rest of them she had donated to the museum.
That's funny.
It's very cool.
All right, so closets all the way down. They have not put their house on the market yet. I'm sort of hoping that Allison and Stephen will think it's as awesome as I do and be able to make it a nice, easy transition for both of them.
That's it. I'm sold.
Thank you for coming to our
Thanks
home.
so much for
Pleasure to
taking
meet
us
you.
around.
Much of a
Goodbye.
pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for
Thank
doing
you.
such a great job telling us about your house.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
We liked this house in terms of what it has to offer with space. We're up for a project. The question will be, can we afford the project?
Right.
We'll figure that out.
But I think if all that was said and done and equal, I like this house. I could see us here for a long time.
I could too, yeah, I definitely could.
Sometimes an act of God forces an agent to rethink his marketing strategy on selling a house.
I had this house on the market for a couple of weeks, and lightning hit the corner of the house on the 3rd floor. It just went through the entire attic and burned it. And I'm trying to figure out, how do I market? This house has been on fire. The house is so large, he did not even realize it was on fire until the fire truck came to tell him, hey, your house is on fire. So anyway, this doctor called me on this house, so I'm gonna try to talk him into buying this house as is. That is the game plan. This was broken through by the fire department, so that's not really damage. This was all water damage, but everything's been taken care of. The floors are still intact. This is the kitchen. This was because of the water damage. I think actually the water caused more damage than the fire did. I wish I could turn on lights for you, but they don't work. A bathroom between these two bedrooms. Bear in mind there's a lot of damage in here. I mean, this whole ceiling fell in. This is where the fire came in. I mean, literally, one lightning bolt hit the corner of the house here, and it basically went all the way through the roof. This also used to be a gas jet as well as electrical. I'm not even touch that. I tell you, it's a great, great home. You just need somebody to take it over and put some love into it. What's nice about it is with that money you're saving, you can put in things like you like them. Any questions? No. Overall, the showing didn't go quite like I was hoping it would go. He looked like a deer in the headlights, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do with all this mess? Can I get out of this house? Can I back out? Would he notice me if I was backing out as he was talking to me?
I've been looking for kind of a renovation project, but I wouldn't expect to find one that's been fire damaged or damaged. It needs a lot of repairs.
This guy in buying this house.
Thank you very much.
Great meeting you. In real estate, we always say, whenever you get discouraged, you don't get a listing that you really wanted, you say the magic word. Next.
Coming up, will Raphael decide to part with his memories and sell his family home?
And the price is about the same as my house. Taxes are about the same as my house.
And can Allison and Stephen, with a baby due any day, afford the house plus the cost of renovations?
Eventually, we'd like to make like a bigger bathroom. I don't think
That'll
we
be a
can afford it.
project down the road.
Raphael heads out with Roberta to see what he could buy if he decides to sell his house.
And I suggested, how about condos? Because he works, he's a single guy, and you know, there's a responsibility owning a house, and even a smaller house is going to have those responsibilities.
Raphael works as a translator in New York and isn't looking to move far from the city.
I suggested we go to West Orange and look at some of the condos that have New York City views. Hi, how are you? We're all here. Hi. There's 2 walk-in closets, and of course you have your view of New York. Some condos actually had walls here, so it was very cut off, but this is a nice big open space. Okay.
Is it from the Verrazano to the Washington Bridge?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Beautiful.
That's New York.
That's New York for you. I tell people this is the $1 million view for $500,000.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
So let's go look at the other one. I think this is the better one, the better view.
At least I have some options. I am weighing equally the advantages of living in Manhattan as opposed to the advantages of living in a place where you have bigger skies and you have trees, and so both have their advantages, and I have to weigh them against my routine of every day.
This has hardwood, this one. Hi, how are you? Do you mind if we just...
Yeah, walk around. I work from home. I'll be in the basement.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
I like this much
Yeah.
better.
Okay, now, but here's the backyard is different. And you have a really nice view there. It's slightly different. That's more panoramic in a way.
Better view, actually. Great room.
It's a lovely room, isn't it? Thank you so much.
All right, have a good day.
I want to take a quick look at the pools and all the amenities. Some little sports activities. Here's the whirlpool. Indoor pool, which is great for laps.
I really can't decide if I'm attached to my house for the emotional thing that is my house or